Hi, I'm Alison. Welcome to Dream Chasers Adventures in Happiness, where my band of superhero guests and I share with you tales of daring do, life-changing journeys towards living our best lives. If you're after an injection of inspiration and ideas to live the life that you want and deserve, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Hi there, and welcome to the show where we serve up conversation, concepts, and belief that it is entirely possible to create what you crave. If there's something stopping you from pursuing happiness, whatever that looks like to you from a career or lifestyle point of view, the stories and insights covered here are designed to help. Now, today I am joined by my awesome client and friend, Nicola Cameron. Now, Nick won't mind me telling you that for years she put her own needs and interests at the bottom of the pile. And I mean the very bottom of the pile. Coming from a professional family background where hard work is prized and traditional career routes are lauded and quietly staying in your lane is the expectation, Nick did just that. She trained and has worked as a solicitor for years, but she also gave hugely of herself and her time to support other people and all of their needs and endeavours. In fact, she was so busy doing everything for everyone else and prioritising other people's needs and wants that she genuinely lost sight of who she was. Now, after typing into Google, and this is no lie, how do you know who you are? Nick found and came to me and began a journey of self-discovery and transformation that has been honestly phenomenal to witness. So today, she's a solicitor by day, but a romance novelist by night. And she also sings, acts and dances in fabulous productions on stage. So Nick has shifted from a life weighed down by expectation and what other people want and people-pleasing to a life shaped by her own joy. So how does she get there? Well, stay with us to find out. And without further ado, welcome to the show, Nick.
Hi!
Thanks so much for coming on.
No problem, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, let's start right at the beginning. Can you give us a sense of what was happening and where you were at when you did genuinely Google, how do you know who you are?
Well, I think you covered it when you said I was at the bottom of a pile. Literally a pile of tasks, a pile of things, a pile of just life crushed down on top of me. I had a diary that was just chock full and I was trying to fit more into it and I couldn't work out how to fit more into it. I thought I was being lazy, unproductive, and I thought I needed to be more productive. But then it kind of started to twig with me that maybe some of the things that were on that list weren't things that I maybe wanted to be on the list, that I had maybe gone down a few paths that I hadn't meant to. And I was kind of just stuck under this pile of stuff that I wasn't really sure that I was doing entirely for myself.
So these were responsibilities that you had taken on or that had been handed to you, one or the other, that were all about everybody else.
Yeah. Things I'd kind of bimbled into, for want of a better expression. You know what it's like sometimes, like if a vacuum occurs and maybe, like, for example, a good example, I was co-running a dog club. I never went into the dog training club intending to run it, but they needed somebody to help out when a teacher was missing and nobody else would do the public speaking element of it. So I was quite happy to stand up in the room and shout the instructions, which led to me training 4 classes every Monday night for years.
Oh my God, I remember this. So
Yeah.
So without kind of unwittingly realising it, you took on like a job. A quite sizable job that took up a lot of your evenings and time during the week outside of your day job that you weren't being paid for, that wasn't for you, that you were just doing.
Yes, exactly. And that was just one of the activities that I managed to get myself into.
There was a whole ton of stuff. Because I remember when we first talked, you were talking about this huge, great big list and kind of wondering how you could almost fit more in, like how you were going to, like you said, how you needed to be more productive. And I remember you reading me this list and me thinking, hang on a minute, this is a huge amount of stuff. Do you want to be doing all these things? You know, and the truthful answer was no, no. But you kind of were trapped in it, but you've been doing it a long time.
Yes, and it took a while to get the honest answer out of me as well, if I remember correctly, because I think you kept asking, and we would go through each of them, and do you really want? And I'm like, yeah, I want to be doing this. Yeah, no, I can't give this up. No. I wouldn't give any of it up at first. I was
you wouldn't, and you were asking me about productivity. You were asking me about productivity hacks, like how can I be more productive? How can I cram more things in for more people? And I remember I just kept questioning, where are you in all of this? What are the things for you? And I think, is it fair to say that all of this, you know, and this has been going on a long time, kind of led you to just feeling kind of lost about who you were and what you were about, because this was all about everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I thought if I could get the stuff for everyone else done, then I could get to the stuff for me, because I've always had a fairly strong sense of the fact that I wanted to be a writer. I knew that. And I knew sometimes that there were other things you maybe had to come before that, because writing always felt like fun, and the fun stuff has to always come last, like in the setup that I had. So I just thought that if I could get through the stuff for everybody else, then I could get to me. But beyond the writer as well, I didn't really know who I was or what I was wanting to do, and I think I knew somehow that was key to sorting out the mess, but I just had no idea how to approach it.
Yeah. I think what you're describing, you know, a lot of people will resonate with. You know, I've got a lot of clients who, you know, whether it's responsibilities and commitments with family, or it's influences through schooling or culture or societal influences, it kind of causes them to veer away from their own natural needs and wants and interest areas, both from a career and a personal perspective. And it just leaves you feeling lost and unfulfilled and not sure what direction to go in, or like what your life's supposed to be about, because all you've got is a list of tasks, a heavy list of tasks. So you knew, you had this kernel of it, like knowing that you wanted to be a writer. But I take it, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I take it that was something that just felt like it was a hobby or a thing, like you said, something to do like when you could finally get to it, when all the other things for everyone else was done.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I'd always done from childhood, just writing for fun. But also, when I got to the kind of point in my life when I was choosing, you know, what I was going to do at university and things, and I was looking at things, and I was talking about it with my mum and dad and things, and said I would like to be a writer, and they suggested that perhaps that would be absolutely fine, but I would have to get a real job first, and then I could be a writer once I had the real job. So I kind of took that advice really literally, and you know, like 2 decades later, I'm still trying to get to the bit where I can be a writer, and I hadn't managed.
Well, and it's really common, you know. I think most of the people I work with who are looking at wanting to change career, you know, whatever that might be, I've ended up in something for that very reason, that like it's either parental influences or other influences that have told them that it's not right, it's not real, it's not proper. Like these things are fine as hobbies, but you know, go and get yourself a proper job. And so it changes the course of your trajectory and takes you down a path that actually isn't very aligned. You know, and I think for a lot of the time when it comes from parents, it's born out of, it's well-meaning, and it's probably born out of their own ideas about what's possible and permissible, and kind of all driven by fear. But all it does is shut down ideas and options and lead to ill-footing choices one way or another, which doesn't really help. So you found me on Martha Beck's website, and for listeners who don't know, Martha Beck is a famous American life coach that I trained under. What were you hoping coaching might help you with when you first started? Like when you first came to me, what were you hoping for?
I just needed to lighten the load. Yes, honestly, with the intention of putting more in. Like I felt I needed to be better organised. But yeah, with that, finding that sort of North Star of who I was and adding that into the really complicated mix. So I think I just needed some help unpicking the Gordian knot that was my life. Yeah. I really literally was like, I have no idea what to do with this, and I have no idea who I am in this. Please help. That was it.
great description. So we started working together to really do three things. We needed to help you gently let go of some of the things that you were doing for other people and the people pleasing. We needed to connect you to your true self and actually what lights you up, because you weren't sure. And then when you were sure, to kind of help you gift yourself permission to go after those things and live what you brilliantly describe as your first class life. Can you share, so we've done a whole number of things, but can you share some of the things that we've covered, you know, some of the tools or techniques or things that we've done that have had an impact on some of this stuff and started to help you make some big shifts?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I've been building a toolbox with you over the years. It's what I refer to it as, and I absolutely love it. And I always go to my toolbox when I need it. So I think the very first one that we started off with was you asked if you had a magic wand and you could make my responsibilities into a list from easiest to hardest to give up. What would the list be? And even putting that list together, I struggled with. Putting the list together and putting it in order was just horrendous. But the feeling of having that magic wand helped me to get through it. You know, it was magic, it was fantasy. We could have a shot at this and see what happened. So we really literally had to start with the most tiny piece of work. I remember, like, everything felt too big. I just felt like everything was too big. I couldn't tackle any of it. And we were talking about some fairly serious, giving up some fairly serious responsibilities, or perhaps you know, seeking a way to have them dealt with in other ways, and everything just felt massive. I couldn't push back on any of it. So the magic wand came out and it helped, and we got the ball rolling and we started making tiny changes, and so that magic wand comes out all the time. Anytime I'm struggling with a task now, right, magic wand time, let's see, how are we putting this easiest to hardest to tackle, and then I go for it. So
so you applied that to kind of give you and like you said, picking the tiniest, easiest, smallest step in order to start building some momentum, so that you didn't feel such resistance. So we didn't start with the big stuff, and it helped you chip away. I remember originally, didn't it help you kind of give yourself a Tuesday night off?
I didn't have a night in the week off, and asking people to change their class date so that I could get all my dog training classes on one night even felt too much. And you know, when I did it, it was the easiest thing. People were glad not to have to come out 2 nights. They were happy to move to that one night. So then I started to get to the momentum of realising that maybe, you know, I shouldn't presuppose what the outcome will be. You know, people might be quite happy. You know, it might have unintended outcomes and things that are positive. So I trusted in the process, and there was just more and more of that. And we did. We eventually came to some things that were trickier, but with the strength that I'd built up from going through that process, I was able to tackle them. So, and then last year I managed to shift an item off my to-do list that had been on my to-do list for, I kid you not, 18 years.
Amazing.
18 years, people.
18.
And it's done. And we got it done.
You have freed yourself of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's an important point, right? Because this has been over a number of years that you've been working on these things and building this and shifting your you know, how you feel about removing some of this stuff and kind of getting comfortable with the actions that you've been taking and building it slowly but surely to the point where, like you said, a hugely massive task on your list that's been there forever that was really, really difficult to even think about facing, and you've now done it. But that's because you have built to it. You have built that momentum and that strength within yourself to start to say no and push back and kind of get to the things that you need to get to. So it's amazing. Okay, so magic wand was one thing. Anything else that stands out?
And I think magic wand, what I was saying there about the, you know, not presupposing outcomes and things. I think the other tool was, is that true tool? Getting me to examine and question my own thinking. I am terrible for thinking I know everything. I will lay that down, right? And this extends to thinking I know what other people are thinking, and I know what I'm future predicting. I know what will happen if I do stuff. So this is really good for kind of just getting me to, and this is embarrassing to admit for a lawyer, but look at the evidence. Because I had some notions that needed to be addressed, particularly around I started a new role at work, and I was kind of magical thinking what other people were thinking, and I wasn't I wasn't like going on what was in front of me. So you said, you know,
Yeah.
like, let's have a look. Is that true? What's the evidence for it? And that helped me either way. Sometimes I was right, sometimes I was not. So it was good to know that we were examining the evidence critically. And it wasn't just Nicola's fantastical thinking.
This is such a human thing. We all do it. We all do it. No one is immune. The idea that we have an idea about something or ourselves that we think is absolutely hard fact, and when you question it and you go, genuinely, can you absolutely know that is true? The answer is inevitably no. And then when you start to examine the evidence, you go, okay, maybe not. And it can help shift, again, how you approach things or what you do or don't do or how you talk to yourself. So it can have an incredible impact for such a small thing.
It's crazy, it really is. Like, a good example is one of the classes I was doing at dog training. It was something that wasn't quite... It didn't quite fit within the classes that we did at the dog training, and I wanted to do it as an extra. So I offered to pay for the hall, thinking that there was no way they would pay for me to just basically enjoy myself learning how to do this particular dog training technique. And for years I paid for that hall. And then as part of this process, I was like, do I have to pay for this? Because I just assumed that the dog club wouldn't pay for it. And using Is It True, I had a chat with the other committee members, and they're like, why are you paying for that? We'll pay, the club will pay for it. And I was like, okay.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was like £50 a month I was paying out to all these classes.
To all those classes.
I didn't need to be paying. Like, magical thinking.
Wow.
Real life results. Honestly. Oh dear. Yes.
Love it. Anything else? Any other tools?
Oh, another favourite, shackles on, shackles off. This is a biggie. That's a biggie because that was really core for me finding out what I enjoyed doing. And shackles on, shackles off. So I use it in a couple of different ways. At the start, when I'm examining, if I'm already in something and I'm examining whether I want to remain in it, it's really helpful. You know, you see how it feels, which was really interesting as well, because I had kind of inured myself to my feelings for years to cope with the amount of stuff that had going on and what I was doing, and the fact that I didn't really like a lot of it. I had to like shut my feelings down, so that helped me to open up and start feeling my feelings. And then once I had that, we could use shackles on, shackles off to let me know how I felt about the things, and that was fine. We used that. So that helped me to sort out a couple of things that had to come off the list. There were some things that continued on the list, but as I got further down, I had to check back in with shackles on, shackles off to see whether I still felt like I wanted to continue it. And I had a couple of swithers over things, but just coming back to that every time helped me to realise with a couple of them that no, I thought I wanted them to remain in the list, but no, they have to go as well. It's an
interesting thing, isn't it? This is for listeners. This the shackles on, shackles off test is a physical body test. Kind of how do you actually feel? You know, because a lot of the time our minds can lie to us about, you know, how much we do or do not want to do something. And when you actually use your physical body's response to kind of, you know, does it feel like it's shackles on? Is it kind of encasing you in and feeling kind of like it's making you smaller and feels kind of heavy and or is it shackles off, like free and open and like enlightenment? And very quickly your body will tell you if you play around with it. Like you said, that's brilliant because it gave you access to your genuine feelings about things that you had shut down for a long time in order to cope with the copious amount of stuff that you were doing for everyone else.
Absolutely. The default was it doesn't matter what you feel about it, it's got to be done. So we had to move from that to, oh my goodness, I've got feelings. And then, oh, here's how we use them. It was revolutionary. It really was amazing.
Love it. And then I think we were talking about, there was one other thing that we talked about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, go for it.
This is my patented tool.
It is. This is yours.
This one came out. I was struggling when to get my first book out. I was on a deadline, I had a lot on at work, and I didn't think I was going to make the deadline. I just thought this is going to be impossible. And I was sitting one day and I thought, what if I just did it? What if I just did it? What if I just got the book finished and put it out there, and it was as good as it could be, but it was out on time and it launched when it should launch, and then we'll take it from there. And I did. and it's great. I say it's great.
I use this now with other clients. Like, this is a tool you came up with and created. It was just like, what if I just stopped talking about it and telling myself how difficult it's going to be? What if I just did it without needing perfection, without needing it to be absolutely, honed and perfectly perfect, because perfect's the enemy of done.
Always.
And so you just were like, what if I just did it? Okay, I'm going to use that idea in that mode. And you did. And you got your first book out.
And it's one of my best sellers. It's still a book I'm really proud of, and it's a book it's one of my best sellers, and it gets good reviews as well. And I still look back on it with pride, because I did just do it. I just got it out.
That's amazing. So this leads nicely onto we've had to play with loads of different tools and techniques over the last few years to build momentum around this whole thing. Can you share where you're at today and what you're doing? So share a little bit about the writing. What are you doing?
What am I doing? I've got 11 romance novellas out now on Amazon. So
11?
11, yeah. I just did them. Just found a way to fit them in. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Yeah, I get some of them aren't perfect. Some of them were written to tight deadlines, but I just did them, and I've enjoyed every second of it. I'm learning so much. I feel really creatively fulfilled, which feeds into the other parts of my life. That because I know I've got this, it really makes me feel really creatively fulfilled and happy. So yeah, I've got a pen name. I've got I'm focusing on Christmas romance.
Your pen name. Your pen name.
My pen name is Mia Coco Lanner. So you can find me on there. It's actually an anagram of my own name.
Brilliant. Well, I'm going to include a link in the show notes to your Amazon page, because I think this is, because you've gone from somebody who didn't have time to breathe with all of the amount of responsibilities and the things you had on your list that were for everybody else, to someone who has created enough space and time, whilst you've still got a full-time, mostly a full-time job. You've prioritized time for yourself and what you love, which is to write, and you've written 11 second chance romance novellas. I mean, it's amazing, and you've done that really quickly. And I think you've got a Christmas series coming out soon, haven't you? I have indeed, yes, absolutely. I'm doubling down on Christmas. I find that I really love writing about Christmas, and people really love reading about Christmas. So yeah, I've got a Christmas romance series coming out about 6 brothers that live on a mountain on a Christmas tree farm. And eldest brother decides they've all got to get married, so they've all got to find wives. And that they do that with hot chocolate and Christmas trees and tinsel. Tremendous. I love it.
It's a great place to spend your free time. The creative world. Love it.
Brilliant. So you're writing. What else are you doing?
Oh well, this is a good one. A couple of years ago, my sister got married, and she was having a bit of a destination wedding. We were all going up north to a castle in the Highlands, and the night before there was compulsory karaoke. So I had always wanted to sing and dance on the stage. I love musicals, always wanted to be in a musical. I used to help at the school musicals by selling the tuck, because I didn't think I could sing or dance or act. But I deep down, in fact, I was looking at my diaries just when I was doing a bit of a preparation for our chat, and I was looking at my diaries, and one of the things on the list was sing, dance and act in a play and a musical. Wow. And it was down at the bottom of the list, because I thought that's never going to happen. Anyway, took some singing lessons as part of the compulsory karaoke. Found out I could sing to a reasonable level, and asked my singing teacher if she thought I could get into an acting or a musical theatre class. She said absolutely no problem. That would be doable. She gave me the details for one. I went, and now I'm on the stage as often as I can get on it.
So you've been in a number, how many productions have you been in?
I think 7. Mixture of plays and musicals. Yeah. Yep. Recently had a main part in the band, which is the Jukebox Take That musical. So in June I was up on the stage playing Claire and singing Never Forget at the top of my lungs. It was great. absolutely living my 90s dream. Absolutely loved it. It was so good. So yes, I've also played Dorothy. I get the chance to put the ruby slippers on as well in a version of a play that goes wrong, but based on the Wizard of Oz. So that was nice. I enjoyed that. I loved having the ruby slippers on. So I've had lots of good opportunities, and I've appreciated them so much. I enjoy it so much. It's just something that I do for fun, and I love every second of it.
Well, and you've created space and time for you to actually engage in what you genuinely love. I know you call this is another Nicola Cameron kind of like trademarked term, but you call them joy jewels, which I now use all the time with all the clients because I love it. But it's you identify what your joy jewels were, the things that really light you up, that engage you, that just make you feel like you're living your best life, and you've created the time and space to do them.
Yeah.
So you've been in 7 productions as well as writing 11 novellas, whilst being a solicitor by day. You know, this is very, very different to the head down, people pleasing, quiet Nicola of old, who didn't feel like she could take up any space and who was a world away from living her best life. How does it feel now that you've created this space for you and you're engaging in your passions, your joy jewels, and really building on them? Like, how do you feel now versus where you were at?
Oh, it's a world apart. It's a world apart. Like, I get up in the morning, I'm like, I can't believe like I get to do this. And I always thought that was a bit twee, that statement, oh, you should think you get to do this. And I never really bought into it. I'd read it many places, you know, and, oh, you should think that you get to do this or you get to live this life. But now genuinely I get up in the morning and I'm like, I get to do this. Like, and even the bits that are maybe hard or could be better, or the you know, the tougher days, because everybody has them, at least they only last so long, and then the evening you're shutting down your computer and you're off to the theatre to do your classes or to do a show or to sit at your computer that evening doing some writing. Do you know, dark times only last so long, and they're getting smaller and smaller all the time as well. It's just it's a world apart. I just feel so much lighter. Like, I used to go to the theatre to watch shows and I'd feel sad. Like, I'd watch professionals and I'd feel so sad because I thought I could never get the chance to do that. Like, that's just never going to happen for me. And now I go and see shows and I'm like, I do that. I do that.
You've gone from being like the quiet kind of backstage mouse to being the person that's on stage, like belting out songs and acting and dancing.
And the spotlight at the front, hogging the microphone ideally as well. I've been known. Yeah, you saw that picture, like that. That was my first show with that choir. Like, I was up at the front.
You were at the front, giving it welly.
Absolutely.
You know, it's such a shift. It's been so amazing to watch that transition from and giving yourself permission to do this and then really love it, and, you know, allow yourself to just love it for all it's worth. And I know one feeds the other. So the creativity from the theatre work and the singing and dancing feeds the writing and vice versa, like, because you're a super creative person and none of that was in your life before, and now it's a huge part, you know, as you continue to, I know, you know, as you continue to build the writing to, you know, eventually do that full time, which is freaking awesome. So honestly, Nick, it's been so good having you on the show, and like, thanks so much for sharing your story. I think many people will resonate with where you were at and will hopefully find some inspiration that self-discovery and genuine transformation really is possible. Like, if anyone is interested in learning more about you, or more importantly, would like to buy any of your fabulous romance novellas, like, where can they find more information?
Oh, they can find me. I have a website, so it's www.miacocolanner.com. So that's MIACOCOLANNER. And everything's on there. So I've got like a newsletter, you've socials, my Amazon link for books and things. So that's the kind of hub for everything.
That's the hub
so
for it.
If you drop in there, I'd be more than happy to see you.
Brilliant. I'll include the link in the show notes so that everybody can find, you know, people can find it. Brilliant. Well, thank you. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. And I really hope that Nick's story has provided encouragement and proof that you can go after what lights you up and you can create your own first-class life, no matter what your starting point or the conditioning that you might have had about what's possible. If you know anyone who would benefit from listening to this conversation and Nick's experience, please do share this episode. And until next time, just know that I believe in you and your ability to drop the people-pleasing, identify your own joy jewels, and create the kind of life that you dream of. So go do your thing.
Thank you for listening today. I hope our time together has got you thinking about your own adventure in happiness. So please do get in touch. I'd love to hear more about your story. And why not join our Dream Chasers Unite community? There is nothing better than an adventure shared. Until next time, be brave and go create what you crave.